the fact that it's anonymous, in a weird way, it could be a good thing.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the inaugural episode number 1 of a new basketball card podcast that we're calling Hobby Update. I'm one of your hosts, Max. You can find me on Instagram at Putnam Cards, and I'm with my good friend Shay at Shayway Vlogs on Instagram. Shay, 1, how you doing today? And 2, what can we look forward to with this podcast, and how's it going to be different from all the other hobby content that's out there?
All right. First, warm welcome to everyone checking us out. We know there's a ton of podcasts out there. There's a new one going on, every other day. But this one, we're going to try to make it more fun, more interesting, more current, more in touch with reality, I think. So we're going to try to balance all that out and kind of, make a nice little package combining hobby world, real world, how the hobby news affects your personal life also. So it's going to be a lot more fun discussions, I think.
Yeah, I mean, definitely going to try to bring the entertainment value. You know what I mean? We're going to try to get some good laughs, and it's just going to be a good time talking about the hobby. So I'm pretty excited about this. I used to have a podcast called Basketball Card Therapy, but I really just wanted to start a podcast with a friend of mine who, I could be consistent with it. I'm really excited about this. And I hope other people are as well. I'm excited to share it. But yeah, I think the first topic that we're always going to start out with is a little segment called Card of the Day. We show off one card in a collection, give a little speech about it, a little description why we like the card. So you want to start out with that and show us your card of the day?
Sure. So yeah, Max thought of starting with like a fun little card, quick little thing. A card in our PC that we love. This is one of them. It's my only LeBron gold autograph card. I freaking love this thing. UD Black. Very. I don't even want to say. I hate another thing. I hate the words. I hate saying the word underrated. Stop. All right. No. Underrated, overrated, overvalued. This is cheap. No, man. Like, relax. Okay. So, anyways, so this card's why I chose this card today. I bought this card non-cracked, and I did. If you're watching on YouTube, I did happen to crack this case. But we're gonna talk about Card Porn's post today. How BGS, if you want to get stuff reslabbed, they regrade the whole card again. So if you have like a 9.5 and you crack the case or a wrong label and you send it to BGS, they're not gonna they will recase it, but they will regrade it again. So it can come back in 8 or 8.5. So that's pretty interesting.
All right. It's definitely a topic we're going to touch on later on in the podcast. And Shay, I haven't seen a LeBron auto pulled out of a pack in over a decade. Why is that?
Chances are maybe a lot of has been pulled already, or no one's breaking these waxes. With the price of wax being where it is, that's probably the reason why, to be frank.
That's a good point. I was also just going to point out that LeBron is not signed with Panini for autographs. He's with Upper Deck. So that's for any newcomers in the hobby. If you haven't seen LeBron autos pulled out of packs, it's because Panini doesn't have the right to do so.
Yeah, I never realized that. I mean, if you want to add on, like when LeBron retires, Panini can't even, use his picture anymore. Like Jordan, there's no Jordan Bulls jersey, Bulls card anymore. So that could be the case with LeBron.
Right. All right. Moving on. My card of the day today. Speaking of LeBron, another LeBron card topic. I guess so far the podcast has been LeBron, but we have a 2008 Topps Chrome X Fractor. Out of 288 BGS 10. People know I'm a big fan of 2008 Topps Chrome basketball. I think this image of LeBron is just I trigger word. It's iconic. Him doing the chalk toss, but yeah, that's my card of the day. So yeah,
that's another word people like to throw around so much. Iconic.
Oh,
Under.
I also meant to say it's incredibly undervalued, this card.
I- There we go. The two famous words you threw in the card. Iconic. Okay, cool. No, but that's a beautiful card, man. Chalk toss, can't go wrong. But all right, so where should we start today?
Yeah, so I actually wanted to start off the podcast today because I was looking at Card Ladder. Shout out Card Ladder, Chris HOJ, Cardboard Chronicles, Christina, the whole crew. Because I was looking at Card Ladder and I was looking at some of the graphs of the higher population GOAT cards, if you will. You know, the Jordan Fleer PSA 9, some Kobe Tops Chrome, specifically LeBron Tops Chrome PSA 10. You know, they obviously had the big run up in February and have since almost halved in value. A lot of those cards have. Some of them have even more than halved in value. And I was looking at some of the graphs, and it seems to me like a few of those cards have kind of bottomed out a little bit, and in the last few sales have kind of been higher and higher and higher than the last one. So I kind of want to ask you, do you think we're possibly seeing the start of the playoff run up this year? And if so, what does that mean for the hobby?
Definitely top scoring base LeBron. PSA 10 has been bouncing well off the 20K range. But I know that there's definitely some sort of run up because I have a cousin that just came into the hobby and he bought a top scroll PS BGS 9 a LeBron. So I see smaller like cards in all different grades. Definitely get some bids in because I personally know somebody that went and bought one of these cards and he's like not a big time hobby, a very casual buyer. So it's definitely gonna happen. But I think how these run-ups to the playoffs and all that, a year ago it was random rookies, if they had a good game the cards would pop off. I think that we've definitely stopped seeing that as the hobby got smarter and people are just not gonna like buy your cards at like, it's not gonna double. Don't expect like a card to double. I mean, it could happen, but overnight on a rookie, like I think those days are gone unless he's like consistent, like 5 to 10 games straight out of nowhere dropping 30 plus. So it's pick and choosing your battles. So if the Clippers make it, chances are top two players in that team are gonna the cards are gonna see a bump. But
Paul
like
George card seeing a bump. The only bump I know associated with Paul George is a ball off the backboard or the side of the backboard.
people got to leave PG-13 alone a little bit. Because a lot of these players they have feelings, man. They have feelings. I don't know, but no one likes PG-13 for whatever reason because people think he's too PG-13 and want him to be more rated R. But it is what it is.
Yeah. I also, I'm not saying that cards, those cards are definitely going to start ticking up. I'm just saying what I've seen from some of the graphs over the last couple of days. But it would kind of coincide with like Durant being back on the court, LeBron and AD soon are going to be back. Harden is going to be, a lot of these key guys are getting healthy. So and I don't know, that may have something to do with people getting a little bit more excited about them right now.
Well, have you personally started buying anything
I mean,
for the? I haven't.
yeah, I've been buying a few things, like that LeBron card I showed earlier, the 2008 Chrome X Factor. I bought that during the dip. Um, I've been kind of picking and choosing my spots, not going crazy, but making educated buys. But I haven't been like stocking up, if you will.
See, the card he bought, like the X Factor 08, that card is gonna do well no matter what long term. I think like it's just your favorite word. It's iconic, so it's gonna do well. I mean, yes, the playoff run is definitely gonna push the card more than it naturally would go up over the time course. So those are certain cards that are gonna just do well. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Another thing about that card though is like, forget the card. Like, it could be any card really of like any GOAT player. But I bought a PSA 10 of that card a couple weeks prior, and I got that BGS 10 for the same price I got the PSA 10.
oh wow.
So that was like another reason why I bought it. But you could say that for any card. I think that's just a good move. If like you can get a BGS 10 for the same price of a PSA 10 2 weeks later, like go for it.
But then with all this BGS scandal going on, negative news every other. That's what's crazy about this hobby. I realized almost every other day there's some sort of a news where it kind of does. If you're in the hobby, it affects you. So it's not just like a random general hobby news. If you're collecting cards, these news that are coming out like every other day, they definitely affect you in some way or another. So
Yeah, I mean they're affecting not only your bank account clearly, but
right,
they're also affecting your just enjoyment of the hobby. You know, your day to day, the way you
right.
operate day to day in the hobby. But I think that's a good segue into the next topic we want to talk about. Kind of a scandalous topic at the moment, but uh, Instagram account Card Porn put out a post, I believe either a couple days ago, about Beckett slabs and you know, resubmitting cracked slabs to Beckett, and you know, kind of a trend or something that might be going on behind the scenes that we don't really know about. You are more of a kind of an expert on this topic than I am, so I'd love to hear your take on it and have you explain it a little better for the listeners.
I don't think I'm an expert. So full transparency. So that's another thing. Like this show. Definitely, we're gonna try to keep it real as possible, even if it kind of hurts me and maybe the stuff that I'm holding. It is what it is. Because I'll be very frank. Like I'm in this hobby to really like enjoy and have fun. Money is great, but that's still kind of secondary. Not kind of. It is. I mean, who doesn't want to make money? You know, in general or in the hobby, but so anyways, like I'm here to enjoy the cards first, and money is like, so like I'm blessed in a sense where I did well in my private life to get cards that I really want, in the hobby. So like money's always has been secondary. So I mean, basically BGS, if you want to get a card reslapped to Beckett, you send them in. Before, they just used to just change out the case and give you the same grade. Now they will be looking at the card all over again, and if it's been overgraded, they will give you the correct grade or the new standard. So if you have a BGS 9.5 and your case is scratched up, cracked, you want to send it in, you may get back 8.5 or even an 8. Pros and cons. Cons obviously sucks for whoever owns it. They obviously lost a ton of money. Who wants a card that they thought they were buying a certain grade and we paid them because it's in a slab, and now we're going to get back a different card, a different grade? Not cool. But to balance it out, we as a hobbyist, as a pure hobbyist, not looking from like in a point of like money, if a card is really a BGS 7.5, then it should not be in a BGS 9.5 slab. You know what I mean? So they are correcting all the wrongs maybe, and it's definitely going to affect a lot of people, and if anybody gets a card downgraded, no one's going to be happy. It's the bottom line. So in a way, they're cleaning up their mess, but the biggest problem is they're just not being transparent about it. That's their biggest problem, Beckett. They have to have better communication skills. PSA is doing a great job at communicating. Those Jerry Sloan, whatever his name is, his new
Jerry Sloan.
what's his name?
Steve Stallone.
Steve Sloan. There we go.
Jerry Sloan, like the
I know
jazz
that.
coach who like passed away this past year. We got Jerry Sloan coming back to life running
Wait, Jerry Sloan
PSA.
passed
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jerry Sloan, like RIP. Yeah,
the Jazz? Jerry Sloan passed away?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay, wow. I hope that's not true, but if it is what it is. But anyways, but yeah, Steve Sloan's message, is very transparent. Like the fact that they even said in 3 days we received enough volume for the last 3 months because of like that price. Like that's very valuable information in terms of like affecting you. How does that affect you? I have a ton of cards. Do I want to send them now? And while they're going through all that, no. And they even obviously they canceled a lot of the services. So these little things, it affects you, and just because they're so transparent and letting us know what's going on, we can digest the news and deal with it accordingly, plan accordingly. But when you throw wrenches on us on what Beckett is doing, that's where we draw the line. Like I'm sure Dr. James Beckett is rolling in his grave. Right? He's not dead, but God forbid, whenever he passes away, not gonna be happy. Like they're dragging Dr. Beckett's name. It's sad. You know what I mean? Like your name is Dr. Beckett. You should walk up with your head up high. Like, do you realize who Beckett is and what Beckett has done for the whole hobby? And now it's like embarrassing. Like,
Yeah.
like I wanted to name my kid Beckett. Now I can't anymore after the card porn post.
All right. All right. So I kind of want to stop you in your tracks and play devil's advocate here, because I was listening in a clubhouse group last night with some big names in the hobby. You know, very trustworthy sources who put out excellent hobby content. I'm not going to name names, but you know, some of these hobbyists were kind of ranting about their card porn post, and we're kind of being critical of it, examining it very carefully because some of the opinions I was hearing were kind of like this card porn account is anonymous. We don't really know who this person is who's putting out these posts. We don't know who their sources are. We don't know if the information is 100%, you know, accurate, and we don't know what their agenda is. So I'm just playing devil's advocate here because those are some of the concerns that I was hearing in the clubhouse. So what are your thoughts on that? My point of view on the situation is, look, if I hear, you know, firsthand that people are submitting cards to Beckett and they're coming back, you know, to be reslabbed and they're coming back in lower grades, you know, that have significant ramifications on the value of that card, then yeah, like this is a big problem that they haven't communicated this properly. On the other hand, if there isn't, if like, if I don't see evidence of this like being an actual way they're doing things now, then like I don't think it's right for an anonymous account to be putting out this like scary information like this. So what are your thoughts on
All
those
right.
kind of counterpoints?
For a few things, y'all gotta leave card porn alone. All right. The fact that it's anonymous in a weird way, it could be a good thing. Bitcoin, it's anonymous. We never know who Satoshi is. All right. It's decentralized. Think of card porn as decentralized. They just get TMZ, hobby news. People get out of, people, if they have issues, people DM them, let them show them proof. And you know what I mean? Like, so far, all their posts, they've been consistent. They haven't been too like that's so far fetched, that post that's so fake, like it's like not even an ounce of truth. Every post, no matter what, there is some relevancy, some truth to it. You guys are saying it could be not all true, but that's a whole nother story, a grayer. But they're bringing news to life. You know what I mean? So I think that's very important. They're doing a service, to be honest. You may not like a lot of news because it may affect you a certain way, but what's right is right. They're so far they've been pretty neutral, I would say, maybe, but I like what they're doing. And so that's my stance on card porn. And all these guys like saying all these things on Clubhouse. I don't know. You just gotta let the news trickle out. I don't think with the blue check mark they're just gonna be making up stories of this sort. I don't even know why they were ranting so much on the story about the BGS grades coming back lower. Like, it is what it is. Like, that's just something that's been happening. So
Yeah.
what is there to hate about somebody that's don't kill the messenger, you know?
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, again, I don't really, I'm not going to take a side here. Um, but look, if it's true, that's huge. You know, that has big ramifications for people, you know, sending in cracked cards to Beckett.
We definitely need an update. Obviously, if I send in, a Jordan card 9.5 True Gem Plus, it's like over 100K, comes back somehow, I don't know, a 9 or 8.5. That's a loss of what, 40, 50, 60K, something outrageous. They got to pay for that. Card porn somehow announces that, we want to be like legit in terms of honest grades. Like, when you hold a BGS slab, chances are that's very fairly graded. I think we all just want our cards to be fairly graded. If I have a scratch on a card, like, I'm not gonna pray to God I'm gonna get a PSA 10. Like, you know what I mean? There's no reason. You're wasting your prayers. Use your prayers somewhere else. That's not gonna happen. So, like, I want consistency. So BGS, that is leaning towards more consistent, like fair grades all around. If you want to play that game, then the people that bought that 9.5 Jordan and now it's a 9 because you guys changed this whole grading thing like suddenly, then you gotta start paying people out. Very,
Yeah.
very strict.
All
So
right. I think that settles that. And you heard it here
yeah.
first from Shay. Card porn, the TMZ of the hobby. I think that's a great quote. But now moving on to another segment that we're going to do every episode is we're going to give one shout out each to a member of the hobby community that we just think deserve a shout out. Good people. You know, so I'm going to start here. I'm going to give a shout out to Mahomie Cards on Instagram. He's a guy. He's a great guy. I've talked to him. I mean, a bunch. We've done many high end deals, and I don't think he gets the respect that he deserves. I don't think he gets it. So if you haven't if you haven't given a follow to my homie Cards on Instagram, go ahead. Great guy. You won't be disappointed. He has a monster of a collection.
Great choice. I do know him. All right. Quick little shout out, Graham. I like California card collector Sierra. I believe did you have him? You had him on, right?
Yeah, I'm good
Yeah,
friends with Sierra. I had him on.
yeah,
He's a
yeah,
gem.
yeah. That guy's a solid dude. I've been talking to him for a while. Why I like him? He posts a lot, and his pictures are good. So it's eye candy, and it's if you're a Kobe Bryant fan, definitely, or a Lakers fan in general, definitely.
Or a Russell Wilson fan.
Or Russell Wilson fan, yes, definitely. He has a nice collection of those cards with great photography and smart and very in tune with what's going on. And you could definitely learn one or two things from Sierra. Good dude.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. All right, jumping into another topic, very, very relevant right now, very much in the news. The Jamal Murray ACL
Wait,
injury.
I want to wait. I don't mean to cut you off. Why I chose Sierra real quick. He a few days ago was my birthday, so randomly we're just friends on Instagram. All right, just as a little side story, add a little theatrics. So he DM'd me out of nowhere on Sunday. My birthday was on Saturday, right? He DM'd me on Sunday. Hey, happy birthday, Shay. I'm like, oh wow, that's random. How the hell you knew it was my birthday? Like, you're stalking me? We're not friends on Facebook, on Instagram. You don't know if someone's birthday. It never pops up, right? He just texted me. I was like, oh wow, that's a surprise. Oh, thanks, man. How the hell did you even know? Do you know what he writes back? He writes back, I found out from Chris Hodge mentioned it on crossover after hours. It's my birthday. I'm like, shut the hell. There's more important things going on than to even mention who the hell am I at birthday. So Chris Hodge on. So this is a funny story. So Chris Hodge on live, he was like, "Hey, shout out to the birthday boy, Shayway Vlogs. Iron Shake messaged me, so happy birthday." And then he tells Josh Carver Chronicles, "You want to wish Shayway Vlogs a happy birthday?" His response, um, okay, all right, and then he just starts laughing. So very Josh Carver Chronicles. But
That's
I'm not.
funny.
Anyways, go on.
Yeah, so that's a good story. But Jamal Murray obviously tore his ACL a couple of days ago. I mean, from just a human perspective, like that's tough. You hate to see a guy, you hate to see that happen. A guy who's like seemingly a really good dude, hard worker. He just got a huge contract in the offseason. You know, he's I think he's 24, 25. He's just kind of getting in his prime. Um, so I want to talk about a couple of things to do with this. One, we can talk about this briefly, but just the inherent risk there is with investing in young current NBA players or really players of any sport, but it's always risky. And I was kind of looking at Jamal Murray card prices before the injury and after, because in a day or two they can change drastically. His base Prism PSA 10s were going for about $450, and his Prism Silver PSA 10s were at around $1,500. And just pretty much overnight, the silver PSA 10s are now down to about 900.
Oh, wow.
So it's that's real money for people. And it's just you hate to see it, but that I think it's just important to convey that the risk there is and putting significant amounts of money in young players.
Well, oh, totally. If anybody that's in the hobby buying cards of young players, I mean, at this point, it's pretty much you should know what the hell you're doing, and you should know that if this young player, really breaks his bones or ACL or Achilles or anything, chances are it's gonna drop in value, whatever you're holding of that player. Then you buy goats and stuff, and you can take that risk off a little bit. So obviously the risk reward is going to be higher reward on a riskier player buying him young as opposed to a goat, but it is what it is. I mean, at this point it really sucks that it happened to Jamal Murray ever since he did that 360 layup thing. I'm like, who is this kid? So he definitely put himself on the map with that, but that just gives more opportunity for other guys. Like obviously MPJ is going to be super hot now, Michael Porter Jr. I don't know if he saw his cards maybe ticked up. I
Yeah.
haven't retrospect, it probably did. If anything, I would because I hear a lot more buzz with his name. So
Yeah, I think his cards have already jumped up substantially on this off this injury because people are just assuming that he's gonna get a real chunk of an opportunity here to show off. And so people are just betting on that to happen to kind of
um,
fill the role, if you will.
isn't Bol in that team?
Bol, yes, Bol is
Yes.
on the Denver
I do have
Nuggets.
his silver. I do have his silver. So let's pray. What happened?
Bol is just that name is just gonna go down in the history of the hobby.
That's great.
Yeah,
Three
he's
letters, name back to back, twice.
yeah. So I also want to talk about because a leading MVP candidate is on the Denver Nuggets, Nikola Jokic. So what does this kind of mean for him? I know right now I checked the odds, the MVP favorites, and he's a pretty substantial. He's a favorite. He's the favorite right now, and he's followed by Joel Embiid as a close second, and then there's a big drop off between those two guys, and then those next tier MVP candidates, LeBron, Lillard, Luka, Giannis, Harden, those guys. So to me, I think that Jokic, I actually think this strengthens his case for MVP if he performs well and the Nuggets keep winning games somehow. I think that could really solidify his case. On the other hand, if the Nuggets like really drop off here, then I think Embiid can definitely overtake him as the MVP favorite. And an MVP for either of those guys long term is a big deal in my opinion.
Here's the thing. I mean, looks like obviously okay. Let's just get away the favorites. That's not gonna be a favorite anymore. Giannis, chances of him winning 3 back-to-back MVPs, the league is just not gonna. I don't know. Like, they just can't do it. You're playing with fire. It's just not gonna happen. I think it did happen once, a long time ago. But whatever. I don't think it's gonna happen. LeBron injured, so that hurts. Now with Jokic, Jokic, Jokic. Um, the problem is, so the Nuggets are what? They're fourth, and then Embiid with the Sixers is first. Their numbers are pretty. They're both very good numbers, obviously individually. But chances are, if you have to choose, they're gonna give it to Embiid just because Sixers are first, and then the Nuggets are fourth. So with Jamal Murray going down, they could continue maybe dropping, in the standing. If that happens, forget it. It's definitely has to be Embiid. But sorry for all the Embiid fans, man. If Embiid gets the MVP, it's gonna be like a wasted MVP. Come on, like it's just gonna be like, look, maybe I'm biased. I wanted to go to LeBron or at least like a big superstar because chances are that superstar gonna continue to do well. It just adds to his resume. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but Joel Embiid, do you really think he wins an MVP? Like then what? He'll be disappeared and gone for the next 5-10 years and probably never get a ring. Who knows?
I think like short term we may say like, oh, like this is quote unquote a wasted MVP, on someone who is had a great year but really like wasn't the best player in the league, like
He's
really
a
wasn't the
crybaby.
most what?
Yeah, he's a crybaby. Embiid.
Yeah,
Did
I
you
mean
see him crying? Crazy? Oh god.
I mean, we may say now like, Embiid or Jokic really wasn't the most valuable player of that year, but I think long term, 5 years, 10 years, when you look back on these players, you say, oh, Embiid had an MVP. Oh, Jokic had an MVP. It just like kind of solidifies, um, it kind of solidifies their legacy a little bit in terms of
Right.
cards and in real life. Whether or not they win a championship in the future, I just think having an MVP, it is a big deal on a resume.
Towards the end of the day, man, there's so many great, talented, successful athletes, but I always like to go back to in terms of card prices. What has Steve Nash cards have really done? Even Duncan cards, yes, they're definitely getting a bump now with all the legends and stuff. But people forget that real life success doesn't always equal plus upside in card prices. People forget that a card is only worth what somebody is freaking willing to pay for it. People forget. People like really people like when they say this is undervalued and they're going crazy, shut the hell up. It's not undervalued. Nobody just freaking wants it. Like if nobody wants it, how are you gonna say this is worth so much more if nobody freaking wants it? Yes, to you, it's worth more. Congratulations. Keep that to yourself. But if nobody else wants it, then it's just not worth what you think it's worth. Like very simple. Like no, I'm talking about it could be LeBron auto, Jordan auto, it could be a PM, like anything, like any card in general. It's only worth because these are still just cards. There's no real monetary value. This card is not $100 bill, no matter what. Like if I give you this $100 bill, you owe me $100. You know, not like it's overvalued, undervalued, because that's like a commodity in a sense, I guess, right? So currency, but with the cards, it's only worth somebody's willing to pay for it. So like slowly try to mentally get that out of your head, and then I don't know, I think you'll live a peaceful life at least.
Yeah, I mean, like full transparency here. I will never ever own a Jokic or an Embiid card. Like
Yes,
if they win
same.
an MVP or not, or a
Even if they would
championship or not. Like it's just not something I'm ever interested in. But all I'm making the case for is like their long term kind of quote unquote legacy. Like if one of them wins an MVP this year, there's going to be those fan bases that, you know, for both those players, both those teams that just hold those guys at a higher level. You know what I mean? That's how I'm making the case for. I think it just boosts the resume. And if they ever did win a championship or did win another, you know, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point.
no. Towards the end of the day, man, there's not too many Jokic Jokic collectors. There's not too many Joel Embiid collectors. It's just it is what it is. You know, like unfortunately it sucks, but it's all supply demand. It always goes back, and more people want it. It's short term. Yeah, you'll see a bump. Congratulations, enjoy it. If you have Embiid cards you want to sell, definitely sell. But long term, I don't know. They're just not that collectible. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Kawhi Leonard, he's won
But
championships.
no, not to cut you off. But if this is Joel Embiid's rookie year and he's doing this same scenario was the first year Joel Embiid or Jokic's first year freshman and same situation, forget it. Then it's a whole different
Right.
story.
Yeah.
And I would be buying it. I'm a potential buyer then because this is you're a rookie and you're doing this. Okay, you got my attention. Let me see what's up. But fourth, fifth year, people will be like, oh, we see what you did. You know what I mean? Like, congrats, you won an MVP, you know, but okay, where's LeBron?
Right.
You know?
Right. Exactly. That's well said.
Yeah.
And you sound like Charles Barkley trying to say Jokic's name.
Charles Barkley. Oh,
You're
God. Compared me to Charles Barkley.
yeah, I mean, man, your pronunciation of Jokic was, and I'm gonna do my little Charles Barkley impression, but that was terrible, man. That was terrible. That was terrible.
That was great. Charles Barkley, man. Who doesn't love Charles Barkley?
All right, well, that's where we're gonna end today's episode with Charles Barkley. Everyone, I hope you enjoyed this first episode of Hobby Update. I can't wait. Me and Shay can't wait to bring you more episodes. It's gonna be weekly on Thursdays. If you have not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, Hobby Update, it's what it's called, and give a rating on Apple Podcasts, Hobby Update as well, and subscribe to. If you haven't subscribed to Shay's Instagram, I mean, what are you doing? Shay Wave Vlogs. I'm Putnam Cards. And Shay, you got any last words here?
Last words, guys. Please like, share, comment. If you don't like it, share it with your enemies, share it with your friends, enemies. Shout out to Cage. And yo, if you have any questions, concerns, even if you want to just hate on us, yo, write in the comments. Reach out to us. Any questions, comments, any topics, any scary topics, you know, people are too scared to talk about. We're not scared. At least I'm not scared. I think Putnam's not scared too. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we love our haters. And that's all. All right, everyone. See you next week. Thanks for listening. Catch you later.
All right. Have a good one. Bye.